What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be painting a mystery blank. Now, I posted a short a couple of days ago explaining what was going on, so if you missed that, let me catch you up to speed. So roughly a year ago, or close to a year ago for my birthday, my parents bought me a bunch of mystery blanks. Now, I mentioned in the other video, or in the short, that I had already opened up a handful of them, or about 3 of them, to film a video with it, but the microphone wasn't working, so you couldn't hear anything. So the ones we're left with are the ones you see here on the table, and I'd asked you guys which one you want me to paint, and everybody voted number 10. Now, my dad said that some of them are funny, or some of them are strange, and some of them are normal, so I have no idea what's in number 10 here. We're about to open it, figure it out what it is, and then paint it. I will put a list of what numbers are left on the video, then you guys can pick from there which one I should open first, and whichever one has the most votes, that's the one we'll open and do a paint job. So, without wasting any more time, let's crack open good old number 10. Number 10 is original sour cream. Oh, look at that. That is a wigglewort that has been pre-chromed, or wigglewort blank. Oh man, this bait looks juicy as is. Really, we could just paint the back of it black, put a shad dot on it, and call it a day. Okay, I'm gonna get this wiped down real quick, table cleaned up, and I'm gonna try to come up with some sort of juicy pattern that we can put down on this beautiful looking blank. Okay, I think I figured out what we're gonna do. And this bait is unbelievably shiny, by the way. You can see the light there above the camera in my face. And my fingers. Okay, I think I figured out what I'm gonna do. I have never seen, or if I have, I looked over it, a chrome crawl pattern. I'm sure it's out there, but I think that's what we're gonna try to do on this bait today, is do a crawl pattern. Now, crawl patterns are something that I struggle with. That is my 2025 goal, is to become a little bit better or come up with some more cool looking crawdad patterns. And what I'm going to do is keep these colors very, very, very simple. I think we're just going to be using 3 colors. We might add a little bit more later. We'll just kind of see how it goes. We're just going to be doing some iridescent scarlet, some bright red, and some transparent black, along with using a stencil I had actually made a while back for wiggleworts to give us our crawl pattern. So what we're going to do is try to add a little bit of flair, a little bit of color to it without covering up too much of the chrome. So I'm going to start off with the iridescent scarlet, and I'm going to leave the bottom of it chrome. I think that will look cool because we'll come in later and add some little bit of lines to it. So I'm just going to kind of more or less do a dusting of the scarlet on the side of the bait and kind of up onto the back of the bait. So something about like that, chrome is still going to shine through, especially once that clear coat goes on. And it's just going to reflect or sparkle a little bit of that iridescent scarlet, or that orangish color. So I'm going to clean out the airbrush, and we'll move on to our bright red. Next color is the bright red in transparent. I'm going to hit that on the back of the bait. I'm going to try to keep it mostly there and let it fade into our orange on the side just a little bit. There we go, as simple as that. All right, cleaning out the airbrush again, and then I'm also going to make sure this is very dry because we're getting ready to move on to our stencils now. Make sure you are cautious when you're painting chrome blanks because it is easy to rub the paint off, which I would imagine I'm going to do that today, hopefully not. But it is hard to sometimes get the paint to stick. So do be careful if you're putting on any sort of stencils or doing what we are about to do with this crawl pattern. All right, I've got some transparent black loaded up in the airbrush, and what we are going to be doing is taking the stencil pattern. Now I've got this kind of broke up into this is the first half, second piece, third piece, fourth piece, fifth piece if we need it. And this is like a thick cardboard or cardstock like paper. So I just kind of bend it to fit the shape of the bait. And what we're going to be doing is holding the bait on its side. And then I'm just going to be lining up the piece of paper right where the bill and the body of the bait meet. I'm going to be holding it in place right there. I'm going to take some of our transparent black. Oh man, just dropped a brand new airbrush on the ground. There is line number 1. Let me hope that my airbrush ain't broke. All right, airbrush is okay. So there you go, you get the idea. Make sure in between each step you hair dry your bait. What we're going to be doing is taking the stencil and moving to the next cutout. What I'm going to do is line this one up with our paint line on the bait, and we'll just be spraying around this one. I'm not going to spray anything on this side because we already have that black line there on our bait, but we're going to be spraying along this edge and then down at the bottom. There we go, number 2. This bait's so shiny. Looking pretty juicy. There we go. Not bad. I'm digging it so far. Hopefully, I'm sure once the clear coat goes on, it'll kind of dull that chrome down just a little bit so you guys can see it better. So hopefully it's showing up good on there for you. I'm going to hair dry it, and then we'll flip it over and do the same steps on the other side. Oh, I got that one a little dark. That's okay. Everything's lining up pretty clean. There we go. So for that one spot, I got too dark, but that's okay. All right, hair dryer one more time. Okay, with our main side shapes done, what I'm going to do now is take this portion of the stencil, and I'm going to give this whole thing a nice little bend to it. That way it'll be easier to shape it to the back of the bait. And what we're going to be doing with this is basically connecting both sides together. Actually need to be going this way. We're going to be holding it right up top. And if everything lined up correctly, starts at this side, goes all the way around, and connects to that side. Oof! So clean. Which is looking pretty stinking good. All right, hair dryer, and we're going to repeat that step all the way down. And right here at the very back of the bait, right at the tip, I'm going to go ahead and spray that too. All right, looking pretty good. I got a couple spots that are a little bit wonky, but like I said, crawl patterns are not my strongest, but we're getting there. We're getting better. Okay, the next portion of the stencil is this part to add some speckles. Now be careful, the cutout here is just to be able to line it up with the bait. Be careful not to spray too much right there because you might end up with a dark line you do not intend to have. There are the other end of our connector piece that's got some speckles on there, and then there's also just a big rectangle that's got speckles. So whichever way works for you. For me, I'm going to go ahead and try to line everything up. Bend this nice and good. All right, there we go. I think what I'm going to do is darken up the head of the bait and where the eyes would be. And while we still have the black loaded up in the airbrush, I'm going to flip this over. And we're going to add a couple of lines on the bottom. I'm not trying to get this to connect to anything. We're just going to add a couple really simple lines. Just like that. Hopefully you can see that all right. Okay, I think this bait's pretty good. There's a couple spots that I keep seeing that I think need to be a little bit darker. Like this very first one here. I think this needs to be just a little bit darker towards the bottom here. There we go. Make it stand out off that chrome just a little better. All right. I think I'm going to call it good there. So what do you guys think of number 10? I can't wait to see once the clear coat gets put on there. It's going to make all the colors pop and that chrome shine through. So that, my friends, is mystery bait number 10. I will put the list of what's left right here so you guys can pick from that, and whichever one I see commented the most or the first, whichever way, we'll open that one next and have a mystery paint job on our hands. All that's left to do for this one is get some clear coat put on it, and then we can come back and take a look at what it looks like all finished up.